I've seen this thing before where a mega successful entrepreneur gets the itch to come back just one more time for something special, something he believes he can leave his legacy with, and I think we've seen it happen once more. And I've got all the details for you in today's video. But before we sink into this, some backdrop is needed, especially as I'm starting to hear some crazy things out of Congress with regards to the stimulus, deficit spending, and the debt ceiling, and inflation. Guys, we've seen some wacky things during this healthcare crisis, but these politicians need their heads examined. If they think a platinum coin is the answer to the printing press and its addiction for more. In 2021, Jerome Powell and his crew over at the Federal Reserve are in charge of the massive cryptocurrency surge to all-time highs. Why? Because of their easy trigger policy. The walls are closing in on them, and inflation has now reached all parts of our lives. Even this morning, we saw new reports about heating oil costs and the cost of natural gas for this winter. It's going to be crushing out there. Now, by continuously lying to the world about inflation, Powell has only made these fears worse. Imagine, as a kid, when you hurt your leg really bad and your mom tells you, don't look, it's fine, really, just don't look at it, don't look at it. Well, that usually makes you even more cautious and skeptical regarding your injury. And this is what Jerome Powell just did by consistently telling us that inflation is transitory. It's only going to be here for a few months, while we're all seeing lumber prices skyrocketing, wheat, housing, zinc, steel, oil, aluminum, copper, food prices, heating oil, all surging to 10, 20, and 30-year highs. Not seen since the 1970s, by the way. Investors are pushing cryptocurrencies into the stratosphere. You know why? Because they are getting out of this corrupt government banking system once and for all. Then we began learning that supply chains are collapsing, with congestion over at seaports and factories not being able to meet demand, with used cars costing more than new ones now. With shortages in truckers and haulers, it became evident that the Fed must stop this printing party, and they've got to stop it now, but they're not going to. Now, with the agenda of the government shifting from paying out stimulus checks to bridge the income gaps caused by this healthcare crisis, the focus is now shifted to helping as many people as possible to get a job because there are millions of openings for jobs right now, but not enough people returning to the workforce. Estimates are that 100 million Americans are simply saying, sorry, we're not working for you. Now, you know that I love Cathie Wood. Her insight over at ARK Invest is pure genius, so stay with me on this. Here's her direct quote. The final factor that should lead to deflation is the stockpiling of goods due to the pandemic and the supply chain bottlenecks. Many companies have been over-ordering supply, which the economy is about to shift to the services sector as the economy opens up. She goes on to say, but because businesses shut down and were caught flat-footed as goods consumption took off during the coronavirus crisis, they are still scrambling to catch up, probably double and triple ordering beyond their needs. She continues, as a result, once the holiday season passes and companies face excess supplies, prices should unwind. Some commodity prices, lumber, iron ore, already have dropped 50%. China's crackdowns are one of the reasons the oil price is an outlier and psychologically important. End quote. Okay, so let's unpack that. What Cathie Wood is basically telling you is that in stark contrast to 2021, when gold has been ruthlessly punished for the likely tightening and rising interest rates, 2022 will put this myth to bed for good. It's going to cause massive gold appreciation. Basically, without saying as much, Cathie Wood is a huge gold bug for 2022. I want you to look at the information that I'm about to show to you and think for yourself if this stock can't shoot up by hundreds of percent in the coming year because it has champion DNA written all over it. You're going to quickly see this. I went and searched through thousands of publicly traded gold companies in the past year, and I found one whose CEO has now just come back from retirement because of the rocks that he saw in the field and he held in his hand. The company's name is Prospect Ridge Resources, and the ticker is right here on your screen. It's PRRSF. You can find it on any of the big exchanges like E-Trade or TD Ameritrade, PRRSF. This is literally like learning Jeff Bezos is launching a new company or Elon Musk. It's a chance to turn back the clock. It's like learning about Bitcoin when it was $1,000 a coin instead of $66,000 a coin as of this morning. There are four key elements to Prospect Ridge resources that I want to talk about. Number one is Mike Iverson, coming out of retirement. This is a person who has built 2 major, highly successful companies in his career, and he is just a rock lover. I mean, he believes this company is sitting atop one of the best deposits in the world, and he and his family own over 60% of the shares of this company. Let me repeat that. He, his family, and the business owners own over 60% of this company in their shares. Do you know what that means? That means they are highly invested in this company. That's a huge deal. Number 2, the amazing results so far. The surveys, the aerial work, and the previous mining done in this area have brought back gold grades that boggle the mind. Literally, Prospect Ridge could be one of those once-in-a-lifetime stories. Now, this is a high-risk, super high-reward play. Number 3, take a look at the other companies in the same geological area who have already developed projects into mines and made early shareholders a bloody fortune. So this area is mineral rich. Number 4, drilling is imminent. Once that snow melts, the rigs are going to start drilling in earnest and the opportunity could be long gone. The whole idea is to wisely position before the rest of the world learns what's beneath the surface. We're taking a calculated risk that these geologists are quitting other roles and coming back from retirement because the rock samples that they're holding in their hands got them so giddy that they couldn't wait to drill and then publish the results. Because the land package is so massive, there could be a multiple deposit range in this, not just one. Now, I have a pinned comment here on this video with more information to research about Prospect Ridge. Their ticker symbol is PRRSF, and why I believe it clearly has a 10 times upside potential. Do your own due diligence. Click the link that I've pinned in our comments section, and I'll see you next time, everyone.